Hello. All right, I have some juicy and salacious Kiss drama today. Now, we all know Eddie Trunk, possibly one of the most famous Kiss fans. In fact, he's like halfway famous just for being a Kiss fan who, as we all know, he was on VH1 Classic, on that metal show, and he's got the serious boneyard, excuse me, the serious boneyard where he plays like Enough is Enough, White Lion, a bunch of music I generally don't care for. Although he is a big UFO fan, I like UFO a lot. I have to agree with Eddie Trunk on some things like UFO. But anyway, man, so Eddie Trunk, he's a big Kiss fan, and he's recently got something of a bee in his bonnet. That's right, because Eddie Trunk, according to his kind of, no offense, but kind of high school way of reading the situation, Eddie Trunk believes that he was snubbed by none other than his former idol, Gene Simmons. Now, think of how much that would suck, like walking around every day just convinced that your teenage idol hates you, hates your guts. But I think the truth is something a little different. You see, I'll explain the situation. So Eddie Trunk discussed this on his radio program, and he explained that he was backstage at some sort of like awards ceremony thing, and Gene Simmons was going to come out and do like a guest bass spot, you know, just jam with whoever was at the awards ceremony thing. I mean, if Eddie Trunk was there, then I'm guessing it was some to do with like I said, like Enough is Enough, Kicks, Bullet Boys, Jackal, something of that nature, something of that musical persuasion. And so they're backstage, man, and apparently Eddie Trunk basically kind of thinks that Gene Simmons thought that Eddie Trunk was like a backstage helper type of guy, you know. I think that there's a couple of possibilities here. Excuse me. I think that Gene knows who Eddie Trunk is, because, you know, Gene, he does have his foot to the ground or whatever. You know, he his finger on the pulse of culture and hard rock, and, you know, so I'm sure over the past 40 years he's figured out who Eddie Trunk is and what his whole thing is about. And it's possible that Gene Simmons might have been purposely treating Eddie Trunk as if he were a backstage helper, and not what Eddie Trunk also is. He is one of the most infamous, I won't say a hater, but he definitely, you know, he shits on Gene and Paul a lot, because Eddie's favorite character in Kiss is the Spaceman, and he's been upset for the past 20 years that Tommy Thayer is dressing up in Ace's makeup and all that sort of teenage drama, you know. And another possibility, I also think it is possible that Gene Simmons just like doesn't really care about Eddie Trunk at all. Probably knows who he is, but doesn't have much of an opinion on him. I mean, because the thing is, I mean, Gene Simmons at his age, he would really have no reason to sit and watch, sit around and listen to like Eddie Trunk's Boneyard show and watching that metal show, which only ever talked about like bands from like the 80s, you know. And so there's a couple of possibilities here. So I wanted to figure out what you guys think about all this, because the interpersonal dynamic aspect of it is interesting to me. Obviously, Eddie Trunk, I'm not going to play the clip here and pad out my own video. You know, we have more integrity than that here on the channel. But if you uh, click the bar ahead of, like, up above me or above the screen or above this video, I'm making it as easy as I can. Type in Eddie Trunk, Gene Simmons encounter. Type that in. You can watch the whole thing. I'm not going to give you like a sentence by sentence fucking body language type of breakdown, but Eddie Trunk kind of rambles about it for about 10 minutes, and what you can tell, the actual interaction between Eddie and Gene was probably 10 to 15 seconds, maybe 30 seconds worth of, because you got to account for like the awkward pauses and stuff, because it really sounded like the Eddie Trunk actually thought that Gene Simmons was going to, like, I don't know, ask for a photo, ask for an autograph, but it seems like, Trunk used to have that thing on his show, Stump the Trunk, and I'd say it's quite easy to stump him if you ask him about, like, any metal that came out after 1990. You could probably stump the Trunk. But what Gene did, and what many have not been able to do, Gene humbled the Trunk. That's right. And Eddie probably sees himself as kind of an ambassador of rock, and now he's got his teenage idol snubbing him, allegedly, of course, snubbing him backstage at some, I'm assuming, like, inconsequential and meaningless awards ceremony. So it's interesting stuff, really, dude. I would love to watch, like, kind of a Curb Your Enthusiasm type of show, or just like any sort of sitcom with Eddie Trunk, and you could have like Eddie Trunk and Gene Simmons can kind of have like a like Larry David and Funkhauser, like kind of a weird kind of standoffish dynamic, something like that. So let me know what you think. Would you like to watch a Eddie Trunk sitcom? Do you think that Eddie was right about his interpretation of the Gene Simmons situation? Do you not care? Feel free to let me know if you don't care. It's still a comment's a comment. And, we want to hear from all of you out there. Are you a Kiss fan? Are you not a Kiss fan? Are you a Trunk fan? Whatever that would entail, let us know. Thank you.